People have been having issues with electricity, as well as what's it called? What do they call those guys? Internet, basically. Data. Hey, thank God. So if you're hearing me, just type yes, or just use the emoji so I know everybody's following. And I want to believe a few people are on Figma, so we can move. Do anybody have any question, or anybody have anything to say before we dive into it? So basically, if Stephen will not be able to join us before the end of the session, so I'll just take us on a couple of basic how to create style guide on Figma. And then the ones I couldn't cover is going to do that before we start auto layouts tomorrow. So, but before we move on, if anybody have any question, you can just do me a favor by asking before we go into it. Your color palettes, which of them, please? Which of them? Is it the one I showed you that day? I think I can find them more. There are a couple of color palettes. Okay, I'll just try and search it and send it to you. Israel. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Apologies if I did not pronounce it correctly. All right. So, we're going to go into, like we explained what style guide and design system is. We're not actually going to full design system because buttons, components, input fee, toggles, everything is what is embedded inside design system. So, and there are some things you don't know that you later get to understand before the end of the bootcamp. And I also mentioned that we'll not be doing components, variable, and variant first. We're going to be doing auto layouts first of all before we do components, because you might not understand components, variables, and variants if you don't know what auto layout is. So basically, but today I'll just start off. If Steven join us, fine, and I'll just start off and helping us understand how to create design system, right? So we're going to start with text, which is typography. Then we'll take it up from there. So let me just copy these two guys. We'll use it as a, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Yes, style guide. Yes, style guide. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. So it will help you guys. Now I know what your first assignment is going to be. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Thank you, Holy Spirit. All right. Okoro Sunday, are you trying to ask something? You can unmute your mic if you want to ask a question. Okay, all right. So I believe we can see my screen. If you can see my screen, just use the thumbs up. If you can see my screen, just use the thumbs up. Just use the thumbs up. Okay, I don't want to disturb what you guys are creating, so let me just put my own down. Let me just put my own down. Right, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with text. We're going to start with text. Text, I call it text, so it's called typography. I call it text. We're going to start with text, and then we're going to move on to color, and we'll move on to grids. We're going to move on to effects and other things. But basically, we're going to pay so much attention to color. We're going to pay so much attention to text, which is typography, and also grids. And I'll tell you the essence of doing those so that you can understand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create them, and I'm going to delete them. Then it will be an assignment for you to create. So let's watch. We're going to start with text. So let's assume we're starting a project and the font you want to use, like we already explained what font is. Font is your text. So this thing you are seeing here is called font. The name of this font is Inter. The name of this font is called Inter. You understand? The name of this font is called Inter. It's a Google font, just where we have product sans serif and all that. So let's assume you want to start a project and you have already decide that this is the font you want to use, and that's the font you want to use for the project, right? So I'm just going to draw this. I'm just going to draw this. All right, let's work with this. Then I'll rename my frame. This frame is, I'm going to say typography. Typography. Yes. So, like I said, we want to create our style guide for typography text. Now, you see whatever you see here, all this thing you're seeing here is just on paper. There's a way you create the style guide and how you use the style guide on Figma, right? So we said we're using Inter. What's the first thing you do? You come to your text tool, which is this. This is your text tool here. The shortcut is T. You understand? The shortcut is T, and you click it. So I click it. Just saying, like, we're going to use. Somebody should suggest the fonts that we should use. Somebody should suggest the fonts that we should use.
Poppins.
Somebody suggest the fonts. Somebody.
Satoshi.
Poppins.
First said Poppins. Can somebody talk? I think I've been on mute since. Montserrat. Okay. Poppins.
Satoshi.
Satoshi. Who says Satoshi? I love that font. Love Satoshi. But let's go with the first person that muted a mic. And that is, I think it was Vanessa. I'm not sure. So we're going to go with Montserrat, right? So let's see. I'm just going to type Montserrat here, right? So I've typed Montserrat. Let me zoom in so you can see it. I've typed Montserrat. I don't know if I have Montserrat on this laptop. Okay, I think it's on my other system. So now when you look at this side, I think you can see my mouse. When you look at this side, where the editing panel, this side, you can see that it says layout, appearance, typography. Now, our focus is this typography section. Do you understand? Because we want to create style guide for typography, right? So let me just change this font to Montserrat first of all. Montserrat. So make it bigger. Oh my God. I don't know. I think I'll just find a way for you to guys. I think you guys just drop your email. I don't like the fact I have to be admitting people. It's kind of stressful. Or should we have a class captain? I think we should have a class captain. Somebody that will be doing that. Somebody should nominate themselves before I nominate somebody. So, Montserrat. I'm just going to make this bigger. All right. So, Montserrat. Fonts. I think we're going to use 130 for this. Yes. It's 130, not so much. Okay. Right. So we're using Montserrat now. This is where you need to follow me. So, like I said, your focus is this place. Now, you're creating the typography for your project, which means the font sizes you're going to use for your project is what? Now, we have default, not default. I'm not going to say default because like sometimes I like to use 54 for my headings. I like to use 2412 most of the time when I'm working on mobile. 2412.8. That's for me, you understand? So it's objective, but there's some industry standard, you understand? So it depends on what you want. So let's just use this one here, right? So we want to create font sizes for our what is it called? For our um for our text, right? So now just follow me as I do this. You need to pay attention, and if you have any question, just ask. So for my heading, what I'm trying to say is in all my projects, like I mean everything I'll be doing on the project, as long as it is heading, you understand? I think this is a web, this is a, for web, this is a web this thing. Everything I'm going to be doing for my heading is going to be, I'm just saying, your own might vary, is going to be let's use what they use here, 56, right? 56. Please follow 56. And I'm saying my height is maybe 61, right? You understand? Like this place, they use 61.6. I can say mine is going to be 62. You understand? Now, once I've done that, follow me closely. On this place, you click this section that says apply style. You click this section that says what? Apply style. You click it. Once you click it, you press plus. Once you press plus, then you write the name of the style. So I can say heading 1, depending on the name. I can say heading 1 web. You understand? Well, depending on what you want, you understand, and how you can easily access it. Most people can say heading 1 56/62. So 56 means the font size, 62 means the line spacing. Then you click create style. Once you click create style, tell me what you notice on this place. Somebody should tell me what they notice on this place. Somebody should tell me what they notice on this place.
The text style has shown there. So anytime you
Text,
want to design
the text style
anything,
is
you
already
can
there.
go there.
The text style is already there. So what that means is, if I let's say let's say um let's say I type something in regular at maybe 14, right? Once I click here, hmm, once I click here, what I just need to do is to apply that text style. I just need to click this button, and this is my text style, and I apply it. It's going to change. As a matter of fact, as we go on, there's a way you can change all your headings. Even if you have 600 screens, you could just change all your heading with that style that you've created. Is anybody following? If you have any question, just let me know. If you have any question, just let me know. Then, let's say you create your heading 2. Is somebody okay? Continue. If you raise up your hand, continue. Continue. Actor, just ask your question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
For every design, we have to define this typography.
What did you say? Sorry, I didn't catch.
For every design, before make the design, we have to define our typography.
So industry standard, yeah, you're supposed. That is why UX is actually very important. Before you start designing, even when you start doing low fidelity, you're supposed to have defined the fonts you want to use for this project, because fonts also matter. Did I actually explain fonts the way I explained color? Did I? I don't think so. Anybody? Did I explain fonts the way I explained color? I think I did a lot on color psychology.
No.
Okay.
No, you did
Good.
not.
So the way we have color psychology is also the same way we have font psychology. There are different types of fonts. No, there are different type of font family, because fonts are in families. You understand? We have the typeface. Let me just see if I can remember them. We have the typeface kind of fonts. We have bold. we have fonts that we call playful fonts. So now, before you dive into creating UI as a UX designer, you are supposed to have understand the kind of fonts, that that you want to use for the project. Now, I'm not going to say that because, to be honest, you can start a project and you're already working on it. You might even finish a project and you guys just discover that this font is not good for this project. These fonts cannot sell on this product. You understand? These fonts will not be good for this project. You can decide to change it. But fonts also as a family, just the same way you have color. So we have fonts like um if you look at Montserrat, the way Montserrat is different from the way Gilroy is. It's different from the way what was this font called? Stylish font. So those fonts would define the kind of product you are working on. So you cannot be working on a kids app now, for instance, a kids app, and you are using a vertical or you are using Poppins. Why? Because you have to use all those kind of fonts that resonate with children. Do you understand? You have to use all kind of font that resonate with children. So most of the time we call typography typeface because it has to deal with how the text is and how it works with the kind of product you are working on. I would have loved to go deeper into fonts because we have a lot of. Let me just see if I can show you some examples of font of typography. Just give me a few minutes. Let me see if I can see them on the internet. Just a minute. Just a minute. All right. So, I got it. Let me just share my screen so that you guys will see what I'm talking about. I wish you can see this image. Let me see if I can see this image. Okay. Oh, that's good. Let me show you this guy. Let me show you guys this so you see what I'm saying. Sorry to draw you guys back. Well, let's just see it so you understand. Here we go. All right. Here we go. All right. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Let me know if you can see. All right. So can you see? These are types of fonts. So we have serif. You understand? You can't. I don't know. Don't know what the issue is. But others can see my screen, right?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
All right. So you can see we have serif fonts. We have sans serif fonts. This is not a name of a font. These are types of font family. Do you understand? We have scripts. So scripts, you can see it says sans serif. Is when you see fonts that has to do with minimal, stability, modern. Those are sans serif fonts. So like all these Montserrat that you're talking about, Poppins, they are under sans serif fonts. Do you understand? When you look at scripts, so scripts are all this kind of fonts. You see how it's written? It's written stylishly. Do you see? Elegant. Those are scripts. So display is also a type of font. Slab serif is also a type of font. So all these fonts has meaning. Now, can somebody tell me the kind of font family you use when you are designing something that relates to wedding?
Script.
No,
Script.
script.
You understand? So when you see something that relates to love, Valentine, wedding, what should be coming to your head is script. When you are designing something that relates to travel, let's say travel and tourism, what should be coming to your mind? What should be coming to your mind?
Sans
Display.
Answer.
Hmm?
Display.
Why this? Somebody said display. Why
Display.
display? The person that said display, why did you say display?
Because it has this how will I put it? Um the holiday font.
Two fonts.
Yeah, because it's actually playful. You understand a little bit. So when you are designing something like, let's say, for real estate, which type of font are you looking at?
Sans
Slab
Sans serif, sans serif font. So that's why,
Sans
if, for
serif.
instance, immediately somebody is giving me a project to work on, I already know what to do. Like immediately I'm seeing the name of that of the immediately I'm seeing the name of the brand, you understand, and the niche of the brand. I know the kind of font I'm supposed to go for. Do you understand what I mean? I know the kind of font I'm supposed to go for. You get, there are still a lot of, there's display font, there's handwritten fonts. Do you know the fonts we call handwritten fonts? Do you know fonts that we call
No.
handwritten fonts? It looks like as if you
Yes.
did it with your hand.
It's called cursive.
Yeah,
Cursive line.
thank you very much. That's actually the name. Godfather, am I correct? Yeah. You understand? So that's why, as a UX designer, you cannot say you are not close to everybody. Because do you know people that they call artists? People that they call artists back in the days, people that they call artists, that they can use their hands to write all these things. They know more about fonts that you actually also need to study from them. We have monospace fonts, we have gothic fonts, we have geometric fonts. Like there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. So you need to understand the font family. You understand? You need to understand the font family first. You understand? Like all those area, Helvetica, Futura, what is it called? Montserrat, all those on they fall under sans serif font. Do we understand? So for the person that asked me a question about font, are we good? Hussein, are we good?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So let's go back to Figma. Let's go back to Figma. All right. So if you're on Figma right now, like, and you're on this call and you're on Figma, because I see that there are like 14 persons on Figma. One person, let me just look for somebody that is here that is also on Figma. Adebayo Steven. Anu, is that you?
Yes, sir.
No, I won't call you. You know it already. You should know it already. Ruak. I can see you on Figma, right?
Sir,
I can see you on Figma.
sir.
I said I can see that you are on
Can you hear
Figma.
me, sir?
I can see you on Figma. So now let everybody, we can actually see our screen, right? We can actually see my screen. So everybody, let us watch Ruak as it creates the text style for heading 2 and heading 3. Let us watch you. Let me look at where you are on Figma. Okay, you're just here. So just come to this. Yeah, all right. So create style guide for test type for heading 2 and heading 3. Let's watch. If you want to duplicate that thing, let me tell you how you can duplicate. Just press Ctrl D, or you hold alternate and press Shift, alternate and drag your mouse, on that heading. Now create heading 2 and heading 3 and create the style guide, the text style. We are waiting for you. Nice. Can we see?
Yes, sir.
Can we all see? Can we all see? So, you know why you have this? You know why we create? You know, I was saying it last week that whatever you have here is just you see on paper. Sometimes I can go ahead to create on my style guide. I can decide to create on my style guide without even doing this thing, without even writing ed 1, ed 22. I'll just create it on my Figma. You understand? I'll just create everything on my Figma. Do we understand? Now I think Ruak has done that. So I think I saw Vanessa. Vanessa. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
create.
can hear you.
Now create heading 4 and heading 5. Now, Ruak, you did not change the size of this. So this should be it's still the same size.
Which one, sir?
Don't worry, I've done it.
And for this, we have 32. And let's go bold. What's in bold? 35 point. So let's go 36. Huh?
I'm waiting for you, Vanessa.
And 4, 32 over 36. Down. Oh. I can be head. Wow. Okay,
Yes.
I'm done with heading 4. I'm going to heading 5.
But am I the only one not seeing it on the style?
You're not seeing the style too.
It
Oh.
just showed now. It just showed up.
Don't worry, continue. I can see it now. And I'll tell you guys something when she's done.
Heading 5, 27 here. And size is 24. Why does the heading 5 look bold? Hmm. 24 over 27. I'm done.
All right. Somebody tell me what you observe from heading 1 to 5 on the text style.
It was getting smaller. As the font size is reducing.
Who is that person? Gideon. Okay, another person. Another person on this textile. What do you notice? I'm waiting. Oh.
You
You're using
sent me
4-point dimensions.
Okay, that's also true. Okay, another person. There's something I want to hear.
The way the header 1 and header 2 was, the header 1 and 2 was created is actually not the same way header 3, header 1, 4, and 5 is somehow different. It is like coming in as a subheading. That's how
Now,
I
let me
see it.
explain something to you. Yeah, you're very correct. So, this is actually what happened. You notice that header 1, 2, 3, header 1, 4, 5 was actually like created like what you know what we call folder when you put something inside the folder, right? That's how
Yes.
header 1, 4, 5 is looking like. But 2 and 3 is looking like is on their own, like a file, like when you have file and you have folder, right? So now, for instance, if you're working on a project that is very, very large, like you're working on web that has front end, you're working on dashboard, you're working on admin, you're working on super admin, like you're working on a very massive project, right? And you're going to be using a lot of textile. What you're going to do is you're just going to put it in folders. You're going to put it in folder. Now, for instance, this one now is on its own, but you see these three, right? They are not on their own. So for instance, I can decide to put it inside here, right? Put 3, put it inside here. Even take what is in 4, put it inside here. Take what is in 5, put it inside here. Do you understand? Do we all understand?
No, I don't.
Yes,
So,
sir.
what
Yes,
did
sir.
you
I
do?
do.
Now I'm going to undo everything.
Yes, please.
All right. Come in. So let's bring this out. So this is what it is, right? Right? Are we looking at my screen? So
Yes,
all I did was
yes, sir.
I brought the heading to, I just dragged it into this. Can you see? I dropped it there. Took this. I also dragged it into this. I dropped it there. And I took the one for 4. I dragged it. I dropped it there. And I took the one for 5. I dragged it there. Do we understand?
If you don't mind, can we see your screen?
I'm showing my screen.
No, I can see your face.
But you can't see my screen.
The screen
No.
is showing.
The screen is showing.
The screen is showing.
Oh,
My
really? Oh, it's
screen.
probably my network. Okay.
Yes, the screen is showing.
Okay, I
But
can see it now.
can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Now, do you
Yes.
understand what I did? Do everybody understand what I did? Or should we take it all over again?
Yes, I'd like to see how you did it. How you did the drag and drop, because I've never done this on Figma before.
Okay. You can do you know the same way you drag and drop on your layers?
Yes.
The way you drag and drop on your layers, you can also do same here also.
Oh, okay.
Very simple.
Okay.
Just watch. Just pick just put it inside this. Pick this, put it inside this. Pick whatever you have here, also put it inside this. Then pick whatever you have here and also put it inside this. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
All right. So first assignment, everybody. First assignment, everybody. First assignment, everybody. Can we all hear me? Just use a thumbs up if you can hear me. I'm gonna say Mawali style. Mawali style. So everybody, go come and create your text, your style guide for text from heading 1 to heading 5. Heading 1 to heading 5. Heading 1 to heading 5 for both web and mobile. So for instance, let me just use this so you can know when you're doing your research. This is like for web, and this is like for mobile. This is like for web, and I'm just telling you, this is like for web, I'm just for mobile. But you can also do your research. I can drop different style guide for you guys. You understand? I can drop different style guide for you guys. Let me just copy this and give you guys as a this is another one that you guys can follow. Or just go on. This is another one that you guys can follow. Or just go on. What is it called? On what is that guy on community? Let me show you. Just go on community and just search, let's say, style guide. You're going to see loads and loads of them. And just once you click it, this is what somebody has done. Open it. Then look at the typography. You get so this person have typography. Okay. This person only did for color, so it's not useful. You check for another one, but you understand what I mean. So, well, this is what I want. So create your style guide, your text. You do it like you can do it anyhow you want to do it, or just follow this as a case study. Create it inside your section. But what I want is I want to see the style on this text style, and you name it with your name so I can see. Do we understand?
Yes.
Do we understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do we understand? And now, do you understand how to use your style guide when you're designing? How to use your text,
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
text style guide when you're designing. Do you understand how to use it?
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay, so for
Yes, I
instance,
do.
let's say this style guide and design system, right? And it's supposed to be a heading. I want to change it, and I want to use my text style guide. All I need to do is come here. You see this menu, this menu that is here. All I need to do is click on it, and you see it says Olawale style. These are all the style guide, all the text style inside Olawale style. I'll just click the one that is supposed to be. Just click it. Do you understand? You see that it has changed, right? So that is how to use.
Yes. Yes.
That's how to use your. That's how to apply your text style when you are designing. You understand? That's how to apply your text style when you are designing. Does anybody have a question on text? And do we get the assignment? Do we all get the assignment? So I want to see everybody. So even though you are doing it, what did you say? Hussein?
Yes. Which one we have to create the color guide one, color style one?
No, I'm
Sorry,
gonna ask, I'm gonna
text.
do on color. Don't worry. Don't worry. Are we good on text?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah, I want to
Right.
ask,
Go
is there any formula guiding how to create style guide?
Is there what?
Like, is there any formula or pattern guiding how to create a style guide?
When you mean formula, I'm trying to use the right word. To be honest, in this present age, there are a lot of plugins that will do this thing for you. Like once you press your text, put your primary color, everything, it will generate it for you. You understand? But it's ideal that you know how to use it. But sometimes you might get a job, and part of what they say you should do is to do it live. Or for text, like I said, for typography, once you understand the fonts you want to use, you understand, then that will determine, and you've done your research, because most of this is also what we work with screen sizes, and you've done your research for font too. You've done your research. It doesn't have one straight pattern, because you see all this thing we are typing here, you're actually not going to use it when you are designing. To be honest, all these things, what you are going to be using is what you have here. Let me show this one. As you can see, you can see this here. Can you see this one? Can you see this one? When you are designing, this is what you are going to be using. You're not going to be coming on what you just write here. All these things are just for documentation. Do you understand? They are just for documentation. It's not that when you are designing, you are going to be coming here to come and be looking. No, this is what you are going to be using on this place. Like you see how this person breaks it down. What the font is using for label, body small, body normal, like everything is already here. So when you are designing, this is what you are coming to. You see what we just have here is just documentation. It's not what you're going to be using when you are designing. Okay. Do you understand? You see all this thing you are seeing here? All this, this is an image. So this is an image. All this file upload, the Bcrom selection, these are variants. These are components and variants. These are component and variants. You see, these are components and variants that when you understand how to use them, you will know. For instance, this is it here. Like this avatar picture, this is it here. This is it here. So, like I said, these things are just documentation. This is what you use, and you create them once you are creating your style guide. So it doesn't actually have one way. But once for instance, if I want to start a project, I will not even go through the straight. There are a lot of plugins that will do it for you. Just put in everything you want, and it will create everything like you want them. You understand? And this also goes to, can you see, this is color style. It's primary color. Can you see? The dark shade, lights, blue. This person actually did a breakdown. So what you have on this place, when people do this, is just for documentation, because documentation is also important. Like documentation is extremely important when you are designing and when you are doing product design. So do you understand, Olasukonu?
Obviously. I understand. Thanks.
It's not that there's a formula that you want to use for it. You can see that everybody is what works for you. Do you understand? For instance, let me show you. Let me see if I can see one of my project on Figma. I do any start guide on this. This project is like how many years ago? Don't deal, shy. Now, this is what I did. I don't know what year I did this project, but can you see the star guide on the side?
Yes.
Can you see it? So even to my grid, the grid I use, my layer blow. Let me see. So do you know why I said documentation is important? Can you see the number of pages here? So design system that has everything. Jesus, I finished work. It's been long I did something like this. I did everything from scratch. Everything you're seeing here.
We can't see your screen again, Mr. Bonington.
I can see this information.
I can see your screen. Maybe it might be network.
You can see the screen well.
Yeah. So even like for instance, this is grid. Let me show you if it's showing. So this is grid. This is what we call grid. Grid is what guide your hierarchy, your spacing when you are designing. So like this project now, icon. Look at these are the icons I use, and they are in components. So what it means is, can you see these are, you see their components, So I don't stress myself because I already created them in the design system. You can see I already created them in the design system. Like this now, this is a variant. This is a variant. That once I'm inside the file, I'll just change it. I don't need to start drag and dropping. Do we understand? So it's not that he has a, but it's good for documentation. Like with this now, when your developer is working, he will not come and be asking you questions. We will not have issues. Because once you're asking me any question, I'm telling you that, do you see the documentation? You understand? So those are part of why we need to create it like this. So all these things you are saying, it's not that it's here. All these things you are seeing is here already. Do we understand? All these things you are seeing here. And mind you, there is no like, because you might be designing now, right? You might be designing, you have gone into the project and you are realizing that 10 fonts will not be nice for this thing. Let me go to 8. Do you understand what I mean? Sometimes you can realize that there's a shade of color that I want to use, but it's not in your style guide. Sometimes it doesn't happen like most times, but sometimes you can use it and just come and put it on your style guide. Do you understand? Sometimes some of this component that you're looking like, it was when I'm working on the project that I had to use it and come and drop it here. Do you understand what I mean? So that's why I said, but you need to create those style guide first. Those are even the important things. It doesn't have a one way. It depends on how you want to work, but you need to do proper documentation for them. It's not just because of you. It's because of when developer wants to work on the project. Do you understand? Because like I said, for color now, color works with code. Do you understand? Color work with code. You can see down this thing. So when your developer is working on the project, he's not looking at this thing. He's not looking at this color. Your developer is not looking at this color. He's not looking at this color. He's looking at the code. Because that's the code the developer is going to use. Do you understand? Do we all understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So,
Yes, sir. Yes.
all right. Thank you very much. So let's move to color. Let's move to color. Right. So maybe for this project, I'll say my primary color. So primary color, like it was explained yesterday, it was primary color is like the main identity color. The main identity color, like the main color of the company or of the projects. You understand? The main color of the projects. So now let's create our color style guide. That's what we have. Oh. All right. Okay. So let's create our color style guide, right? I just drew this rectangle. And I come here, I fill it up because it doesn't have any fill color. So let's say I want to use, let me use this shade of green for our primary color, right? Same approach. It depends. It depends. Just click on this place, right? You press your plus, right? Say primary color. Do you understand? And I create style. You see it's already here. Do you guys see it?
Yes, you do.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
I
sir.
do rather.
It's already here. Your primary color. It's already here. Should I do this thing or I should give you as assignments? Depends on how I feel. I'll think about it. Very simple. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. This is your primary. If let's say it's my primary color, and like this guy did, he just did his primary color and secondary color. Let me just write it there. primary color. And what's the code again? I want to copy this code. So I just come here. This is the code. Copy the code. And then paste the code. All right. So I'm too used to auto layouts. I'm too used to auto layouts. We learn about it. So this is 10. All right, so this primary color, let's say secondary color is purple. All right, then you come here, you press plus, and you secondary color. From the color. Copy the code. Didn't I save this? Thought I saved it. Great stuff. All right. Do anybody have any question? Do anybody have any question? Any
On my
question?
own end, no, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay, all right. So, same way. We know all these default things. Your success, your warning, your error, those are defaults. Your black, your gray color. This is how you create your color star guard. Right. So, what can I call on this call? Who is on this Figma? Angelox. Is it? Who is Angelox? Is it Angelos or Angulox?
Yes.
Oh, Angel. All right.
Angel. Yes. Yes.
So come and create style guide for error, color style for error and success. And Adeni, your use row. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Adeni, your use row. Come and create style for info and warning. Then Okay. I'm thinking of the assignment to give you guys. Can we hear me?
Yes.
Can we hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I'm thinking of the assignment to give you guys on color. I'm thinking of showing you guys something or giving you an assignment. What should I do?
Show us so that we can grow. Thank you.
You show us. Let's learn first before the assignments.
Okay. And here. So by and responding some other messages. She's
Challenges and obstacles by
this guy dropping content like twice a day. Look, down. Right. This is your warning color, yeah?
Sorry, I'm finding it difficult to copy and paste. I don't know. I've not done it before.
So most of all these things are in auto layouts. You just follow my mouse. Can you see my mouse? You can see my mouse, right? Double click on it. Keep double clicking. Go to the text, double click, then copy. Control C. Then copy and come and paste it on your color. That's all. It goes here. So tables responding to messages. Goes here. Here we plenty. What is this? I think we're good. Let's continue. So what I was saying, I wanted to. So do anybody know how to put this inside a folder? Like arrange it the way we did this all our list style. Now look at your alignments. Look at your alignments. Look at your alignments. Who did the one in color?
I did.
Oh, you did. All right. You copied my auto layouts. I did type in the codes or it automatically. Somebody asked a question, right? I did type in the codes or it automatically get it after the color style. If you don't type the code, except so for instance, right? If you are if you already have a brand identity, you get. If you already have a brand identity, I mean they already provided a brand identity, so you already have the color style, the color, what is it called? The color palettes. So you already know the code. You just need to go and put the code. But if you're like I want putting it, like generating it, you just come to your color. That I'm actually responding to that guy that asked this question. You come to your color. Okay, let's do it. Let me just do it afresh and show you, right? So you understand. You can't have more than one color for that's to Evelyn. You can't have more than one color for your primary and secondary color. Your primary color is going to be one color, and that's going to be your main color. Your secondary color too is going to be a color. So what they are shades, which is I think that's the assignment I'll give you guys. That's the assignment I'll give you guys. Okay, I'll show you this, then I'll give you guys that one as assignments. There's what we call shades, color shades. So there's primary color shades, there's secondary color shades. Yes. But Olani Romayawa. So these are it's gonna look like normally. You understand? Whatever you're working on, you understand. So you come to your field that is here. So sometimes if you are just want to know the color, maybe you already know you are working on green, you don't know the particular green, you can just find solace. Maybe you're looking at the kind of green you want to work on, you understand? Then this is the code. Just know that as you are moving this thing, the code is changing. The code is changing. As you're moving it, the code is changing. As you're moving it, the code is changing. Do you understand? So that's how it's going to look like. So it's not that they are typing the code. No, when you choose the color, it generate the code for you. So for instance, if I want to use this guy's color here, this one, all I need to do is pick the pick two. I come here, I pick it. So this is the code. You can see. Look at this code here. Look at the code. Can you see? So is the code. Do you understand? So it's not that they were typing it. And to answer Evelyn, you can't use more than one color for primary. There's a color that has to be your primary, and if you have a secondary color, that color has to be a secondary color. Then your accents and your black and your gray colors. Go ahead, use raw.
So, sorry, sir. I noticed that after creating my own color style is not showing the general color. So I don't know if there may be mistakes in there.
I can't hear you clearly. Maybe you speak louder.
Like I noticed that after creating the color style, it was not showing on the general color style that was created with. And I don't know what I did wrong in
It
that
was
case.
not showing where. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is just 4. So it means you didn't create it. Warning. So why is it not showing? That's strange. Where did you create this thing? I'm coming. Hey, this is where style. Do you see what you did?
Oh, okay.
You choose variable instead of style. Do you see where you made your mistake?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So I think, can you see? This is what he did. Because look at the variables. Look at it. What you created. Do you see under variables? So go back and do it again. Thank you very much. So while she's doing that, let me show you guys how to put everything in the way we did this Olawale style. The way we did this Olawale style. So like you guys, like I said, you guys should do for text. Also, you do for color. Doing primary, secondary, and state colors, which is like accent colors. So how do you put it in folder? Just right click on your mouse, add new folder. Let me see, Olawale. Right, then drag all these other guys into it. Any question? Any question before we move on? Any question before we move on?
Do that again. Please do that again.
Okay, all right.
And what if you're not using like a mouse?
I don't get. You cannot be a designer and not be using mouse.
I've not been using mouse. I've been using my laptop space. That's what I've been using. I don't use a mouse.
Your trackpad.
How do you now move? Oh, it's still a mouse. Okay, you mean if you're not using a mouse like this?
Yes, like an actual mouse.
But I'm also this thing I'm
using a
trackpad. I'm not also using my mouse. I'm using my trackpad on my laptop.
Okay.
It's also a mouse. What kind of laptop do you use?
HP.
Oh, it's not even a MacBook, so it's easy. I thought if it's a MacBook, you can actually configure your mouse, your trackpad. But HP is actually easy. It's your left and your right. You understand? So you just right click. We have click and we have right click. You understand? That's why they call it in computer terms. It's not left and right, it's click and right click. So just should I do it again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please do it again.
So all I did is I came to this place, then I right click. You can see add new folder. We can see it, right? Then click it, then say the Lawale is color. Or this color. Then I just selected everything here. How did I? The same way you select, just hold your shift and you pick everything. Pick everything and you drag them into it. Here we go. Yeah. Any other question?
Sorry, please can you see maybe what you did, like grouping them together, please?
So very simple. Let me show you on an actual board. So for instance, let me select all these things. You see these monsters heading, all of them like this. Or let's say this ones. All you do is just when you click on this one, you hold your shift on your keyboard. Hold shift on your keyboard. Sometimes I think control also works. But hold shift on your keyboard, then click on all of them. It's going to select. It's like you're selecting all. Do you understand? Then I just moved it.
Yes.
You know how to move. You click and you drag. You click and you drag. Like, so it's what I used here. I just did this and I selected everything. I can do this. There's another way. So for shift, if I click this secondary color and I press shift, and I scroll down to primary color and I click it, it's going to select everything. For command, which is control on Windows, when you click this and I come to warning and I click it, it's going to just select secondary color and warning. So these are basic computer stuff. Sha. Do you understand? I think it's Annabelle asked that question.
So I have a
Thank
question,
you.
sir.
Okay, go ahead, Gideon.
Yeah, I wanted to know how you created the folder. My eyes were off it then. I'm sorry.
No
Just the
problem.
folder. And
No
then I
problem.
know how I can move it. Just how you created that folder, list, color.
No problem. Just watch. Just look at it. You right click on your mouse. You click right click when you come to this place. You click right click. I put add new folder. Can you see? Do you see it?
Yes, sir.
Gideon?
Yes, sir. So, thank you
So
so
just
much.
click add new folder. Simple. And I
Yes,
said
I saw it.
color. And I move everything inside. That's all.
Okay.
Any other person?
Noted, sir.
User is still fighting with this thing. You raise up your hand. Is this not user? You, I didn't know user. Are you the one still fighting with this thing?
Yes, so
Don't worry. Let me. I know the auto layout has confused you. Let me remove the auto layout. Yeah. Yeah. Work on your thing separately like that. Why she's fighting with that? Do anybody have any question? Anybody has any question? Okay. All right. Okay. My work.
Yeah. Please, my question is the question I asked the other time. Like for those that did the color style. Okay, let me just choose one of them now. Like someone that said that wrote that did the warning color, like the code under. Were they the one that wrote it, or it's just automatically got there? That's what I'm trying to like ask the other time. If they were the one that wrote the warning text and the code together.
Do you mean these people that did it? No, they are
Do
the
you
one
get
that
what
wrote this one, you know.
Yes. How about the code? The code under. Are
They
they
are
the
the
one
one
that
that
wrote
write the
it?
code, but they got the code from the style.
Oh, yeah. That's what I want to. That's what I just want
So
to
like this
ask.
one now. No, like this
Okay.
one, I just copied the code from here. I just copied the code. You understand? From the code. Should we do it again so you can understand?
Okay, please. So that because the network is affecting me here.
Okay, so let me just do it. So this is it. So for instance, you see this thing I drew right now. This is the color code here. Like we explained.
Okay.
On colors, we work with code as a designer, not just for UX or UI. I can open Photoshop now and show you, or I can open Illustrator, even Premiere Pro. Like when you're working on Premiere Pro, or when you're working on After Effects, or when you're working on any software, what it takes. Just know that as a designer, it's or whatever it be, as long as you work with color on digital space, it comes with code. And I don't want to go into what is color now because there's RGB. You understand? There's RGB. There's a way RGB color looks like. You understand? There's a way HSL color looks like on the codes. So the same red of RGB, the code might be different from that same red on HSL. So each of those family, because red is a family, blue is a family. Like look at these palettes now. Do you know everything here is red family? You can see that everything showing here is red. From the lights to the dark. From the lights to the dark is red. Do you understand? So, for instance, whether you choose that this is what your color will look like, right? I say this is my color. This is the code here. So what we needed was to copy this code and you type it. That's all. Maiwa, is it Maiwa? Am I sure? I think it's Maiwa. Do you understand? Okay, I said you understand now. All right. Adeniro, are you good now?
Yes, sir.
You have tried. Don't worry. Don't worry, you have tried. So, how many assignment have I given you guys? Text style, color style, right? So people should do it in your section. Do it in your section and make sure you create it on this local style. So what am I expected to see as of tomorrow? Esther, Gideon, Ruach, Aisha, Alimi, like your text and your color. Now let's move on. Now we're moving on to our grid system. Now, what is grid? Very, very simple. Grid is what guides your balance. Like it's what guides your balance on your design. Like that's what guide your balance on a design. So sometimes when I make comments on some people's design and I say this design is not consistent, you understand? It's not consistent. It's not the spacing is poor, you understand? It's because your grids has a problem. It's because your grid has a problem. So your grid is a structure. It's like a structure that controls your design in terms of how it's going to be balanced. So the way your layout looks like, it's what comes from your grids. So you might, to be honest, like right now I don't even using both. When I'm looking at the design, I will know I know where my spacing need to start from. And as a matter of fact, all these things also work with screen sizes. So that's why you need to know what you are doing in regards to the screen you get. Sometimes I can open up a design. When you put it on your TV screen, 73-inch, it will not look like how it's supposed to look like when you're looking at it on your mobile phone. You understand? And if you're designing a big product, that it will also be on watch. It will also be on watch. You're designing for watch. You're designing for like, if you're designing Spotify is on everywhere. Like it's also on your in your car. You know, you connect your Spotify to your car when you're driving. That's also an interface that a designer also design how it will look like on cars interface. So you should know that you'll be creating a lot of screens and you're going to really, really work on the grid style. So the grid has horizontal and vertical. Horizontal and vertical. So it has an horizontal line, it has a vertical line, which has columns and rows. Columns and row. And we have gutter. We have what we call gutter. Gutter is the spacing between your column and your row. The gutter is the spacing between the column and your row. Then we have margin. You understand? The margin is the empty space. So there's something we call white spaces in design. It's not because it's color white. No, it's because of I've forgotten why we call it, but it's called white spaces. It's an empty space that helps your design to look more better. So why is grid important? Consistency, like I used to say, it's consistency, alignment, and responsiveness. So those are the basic things why you need a grid system. Like I showed you the other time on this project I did a long time ago on sneakers that I did a long time ago. I showed you the grid. Let me go to the UI. So Shift G. Can you see? You see all these things you are seeing here? All these things you are seeing here. It's called a grid. You see all these things? Can somebody tell me what they notice? Can somebody tell me what they notice?
The grid helps the design not to go to the ends of the screen. So the grid
It helps the design to not be misaligned.
keep
Everything is aligned to the left and to the right.
So you notice that all my design did not pass this line. Did not pass. Look at. Let me just use this ruler. Can you see? All my design did not pass this place. All the designs did not pass this place. It's because I have a grid system. It's because I have a grid system. Do you understand? So your grid is what you do to create that balance, the alignment in your design. And like I said, look at here. It has the number of column, the gutter, and the rows, the number of rows. Do you understand? So I'm going to show you how to create your grid. Are we good? So let's choose a frame. Let me say iPhone 16, 14, 16 Pro Max. All of them are the same size, right? Are we following? Oh my God. Okay, let me use these guys to explain to you so you guys can understand very well. Like for me, oh my God, that's you. Like I said, all these things are documentation. What you need to do is actually on the design. So, like these guys now, they said they are mobile. Their gutter is 1 rem, their content is 18 rem, blah, blah, blah. So this is iPhone 14, whatever screen. And I want to create my grid for it. I come to this side. I don't know if you are seeing my screen. You guys see my screen? Okay, I think you should. You should be seeing my screen. So you come to your layouts, you click plus, or whatever you click. I like to arrange it first before I create the style. Now, when you click plus, you see how it looks like. Can we see how it looks like? It looks like there's this thing we used to use in primary school. One book like that used to look like this. I can't remember.
Graph.
Here, graph. Thank you. So just follow me. Watch closely. You see this thing that looks like math here. Layout grid setting. You click it. Then it brings the option. You see the option here. It brings the option. You click it. Let's say column. You understand? Column. Me, I like to work with 4. And click 4. This is now showing 4. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Type or blah, blah, blah. But stretch is what I like to use most. So let's say, for instance, we want to let me use what this guy used. Still got that actually. Imagine. Or let's say 30. And you can decide to change the color. It's not that red is default, but it's just that people are already used to it. It's strange when if I see a grid that is in.
Is that your baby?
My baby care. I don't get baby. I think it's Christopher's baby. Don't worry, I'll also have baby very soon. My baby's on the way.
Amen. Yeah, that's my baby.
Is he a boy or a girl?
A girl.
Okay.
A girl.
All right. I will continue. Anybody have any question? Any question from anybody?
Okay, what about for rows?
For what?
Rows. No, this is column.
Oh, okay, for rows.
Yes.
You literally don't use rows because you actually don't need it. I don't know if, to be honest, if I'm not lying, I've never clicked that rows option before because it's actually not useful. I think most time when people want to create card, there's something we call card. When you are doing auto layout, you know it. But I've even never used for rows. I've never, so I really don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Because even here, you can see that everybody is column, column, column. I've never actually asked the question why we've never used rows, but I've not seen the usefulness of using rows. You get. Have I seen any design that they use row? It's actually possible to use row. Maybe you want to mark all your spacing in terms of this thing, but I don't know. But basically, columns is what. And some people use 2 for mobile, but I actually use 4. Like if I check on my designs, I usually use 4. I usually use 4. Somebody is raising up their hand. Shoot. Shoot to Abi. Is he saying that he's raising up his hand? I don't know. I thought I saw somebody raise up their hand. I see that some people like this people use 2. Me, I use 4. Understand? I usually use 4 for my grid. For my grid, I use 4. You get. Anybody have a question now? I pick editor. I should again. But okay, so let's continue. Yeah, it's actually possible. Maybe when you are working with check coming. Then we don't get design. We do much work with the projects. Okay. Oh, that. I think it's great. I think it's great. Did I use green this design? I see. I know I usually use 4. I usually use 4. Like that one, I'm so sure. I'm so sure I usually use 4. 1932 got to 20. Got 20. Oh, somebody wants to join. So everybody, you mean you understand how I did this, or should I do it again? Should I do it again? Should I do it again before I continue? Should I go again? Or I should continue?
Yes.
I should go again.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So let me delete this. So I created a frame. I use iPhone 16 Pro, whatever frame you want to use. Then without clicking, when nothing is selected, somebody is already doing something here.
It's me. I'm
Okay.
still trying to.
Just make sure you put it inside the folder.
Yes.
Doesn't confuse others. All right. So you click the frame. When you click the frame, you come to your layout grid. You come to your layout grid. You see, this is why what is it called? This is why Figma is very good. You see, as I click this, there are a lot of options there that's already been there, and it's from material design, which is Google. Well, that is just so that it will easy work. Well, you press this plus button. When you press plus, this is what will show automatically. To show like graph. Then you come to this place, say layout grid setting, you click it, then you choose column. You understand? I like to work with 4, then stretch, normal. Then your merging, can use merging as 32, and your gutter as 20. This is what I use actually. That's what I use. My designs. This is what I use. This is setting I use. So it might vary to you, you understand, depending on your preference. You understand? So anybody, any other question? Anybody, any question before I move? Anybody before I move? Can I move on? Can I move on? All right. So once you've done that, same procedure. Same procedure. You click it, plus, then you name it mobile grid. Then you create style. Again, is already there. So if I add a frame now, I see iPhone 16. You can see it's not there. So instead for me to go and be creating, what do? I come to this place. I just press on grid. On grid, you just press this one. It says mobile grid. Then you put it. Anybody, any other question on this? Anybody? No. All right. So I'll give you an assignment on this.
I have a question, sir.
Shoot. Oh, we should be running up now. It's 10 p.m. Shoot.
Okay. So how should we add it as a design system? Because the one you're showing us now, we have it is on the screen. Or should we just type the details of the grid and just put it there?
Now, like I said, for instance, all these things are meant to use for documentation, which is going to be in your design system. So, like this that I did now, look at how they did this one. Once you've created, for instance, these people they are working on. So, if I'm working on only mobile, this is the only one I'll create. You understand? And I'll put it on it. I'll put my. You can see what this guy did. They didn't do this. They just did this. You understand? As your documentation, and they put all the grids option. What are your grid options here? What are your grid options? These are your grid options. These are your grid options. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So like I said, there's documentation part and there's this part. So when you are doing your design system or your star guide, once you are doing your documentation is just the documents of what you have done on the, because for instance, if I see your documentation as a developer and it's not your star guide, you've not done anything, because another designer cannot implement what you have done, or they will not, or will I not start and be looking at what you do? No, or what you wrote down. Do you understand? Like, let me search for a design system. Tap design system. You can see cover, get started, overview. Look at color. You can see they just use this as their documentation. You might not do your own like this, but everything is here. Can you see? Can you see? Everything is here. The icons, because icons cannot be in this place, so you need to properly document your icons, which is actually easy, by the way. Shadow. They just use that. You see, the shadow is actually here. This is the shadow. This is the shadow here. This is the shadow here. If you are using shadow typography, they just did theirs now. You see how they did their own? Can you see? But everything is already here. Do you understand what I mean? You see all this anchor, big crumb, all these ones, these are components. These are components. Now, do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody, any other question? Nobody with any other questions. So, assignment I'm going to give you on this is just create a what is it called? A grid for web. So when you are saving it on this place, save it with your name. So like this, I said, I'll just say Olawale mobile grid. So what your own will be is your name and the web grid. Is that okay? And everybody should put it inside their own session. You put it inside your own session. Do you understand?
Sir, you said the mobile or the desktop?
Desktop.
Okay.
Desktop.
So, sir, even the star guide for color and text, should it also be for web?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's a lot in effects, but that's as we go on. I know it might be too much for some persons here right now, because you have to know how to use those effects, especially shadow and overlay. Yeah. So this is 2 hours already. Okay. Do anybody have any question before we call it a day? Anybody?
My question is not actually a question. I don't know if I can send a private message to you on WhatsApp.
Send the what?
A private message to you on WhatsApp.
All right, just send it to me. Send it to me. Any other person? So nobody. So tomorrow, before we start auto layouts, like we're going to really go into auto layouts. I think I'm the one that's going to start. We're creating buttons, we're creating cards. We're creating hero section. No, sorry, header. We're creating header. We're creating headers. We're creating cards. We're creating. What did I mention again? Cards, headers, buttons. Should we do it? What did you say?
Nav bar or menu bar.
No, we're not creating hero session. No. We're not, when we get to web, we're creating hero session. Just create headers.
Also, I thought tomorrow, according to this thing, it says components, variables, and variants.
Yeah, are you following the class?
Hmm?
Are you following?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mentioned last week, and I also mentioned when we started today that we're going to do auto layouts before we do component variable. I said it when I started.
Oh, okay, all right.
I
Sorry.
even mentioned it last week.
Head food.
Yeah, I understand. That you cannot go into component, variable, and variants without knowing auto layouts, because when you are creating component and variables or variants, it has to be in auto layouts. Do you understand? I can't create components now, maybe button components and in variables. It has to be on auto layouts. Input feed components has to be on auto layouts. You don't understand?
Yeah, that's true.
Components need to be on auto layout. So we can't jump. I know I mentioned it last week. Yes, I think I mentioned it last week Friday.
No, sorry for the confusion. I was just looking at the schedule.
No problem. So somebody said hero session. We'll not create hero session. When we start with hero session, we are going into web. So we'll just yeah, we can do nav bar. We'll do nav bar. We can do menu bar. We'll do nav bar auto layouts. But before we start auto layout tomorrow, there's something I missed, and not actually miss it. I'm actually already getting tired. What we are going to first do tomorrow, I'm going to teach you how to create the color variation. It's actually very important. And because of somebody that asked about, can we use more than one color, primary color? So for instance, let me show you a project. This is a fresh project I'm working on. So for instance, you can see this color. You can see this color, this particular one, and this particular one. You know it's the same color, but it's different variation. Do you understand? Now you see this color here. As a matter of truth,
yes.
As a matter of truth, right? This color, which is the primary color, this color is another variation of the primary color. Then this color you are seeing here that looks like black is another variation of the primary color. So, and they are all primary color. Do we get what I mean?
Yes.
So for instance,
yes, we do.
So you see this header, the background of this hero, this one that is here, and this one, they are all primary colors, but they are different variations. So I'll show you this is a perfect example. Yeah, this is a perfect example. Can you see? From light to dark. So this is the first thing I'm going to be teaching you guys tomorrow. This is the first thing I'm going to be teaching you guys tomorrow. Then we move into auto layout properly. Anybody with any question?
So
Anybody? You said what?
I thought that is our assignment. Or what is the assignment? About color scale.
Did I give you guys this assignment?
No.
No.
No, I did not.
You said color shades.
No. You said text.
No, just so you guys should create your this thing in style and put it inside your section.
Text, color, yes. And break.
So I want to ask one question. The text we are doing the typography, are we using the same font weight?
No, you can enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Did I say this? Primary collection, secondary collection assignment. Did I?
Yes.
No, you
said
didn't.
color shade.
You are just bringing up your own assignment. That's not what you said.
Okay, I made mention. I know okay, maybe I did, okay. It's see. There's no see what for newbies. Yeah, that's you see people don't intimidate newbies. Don't intimidate newbies. You know what? Anybody that can do it is actually you're actually advancing your learning. You understand? You can even do it and drop it on this place. You get people that want to do it can do it and drop it on this place, but I'm going to show you guys tomorrow. Is that fine? I think that balances it. You
What
understand?
is that, sir?
That balances it. So people that can do it, just go ahead and do it. I can even drop YouTube videos for people who need it to watch, and you understand. I can drop YouTube videos for people who need to watch and check. But I'm going to do it for you guys tomorrow because a lot of people do mistake on it. Even people that are already designing, people think it's opacity. No, there's how you pick those colors on. It's a very long process. That's why I don't want to go into it now. It's going to take us like I know people will keep asking me. You keep asking me questions, so that's why I don't want to go into it now. Because there's a way you pick those color shades as it's moving on that color palette. There's a way you pick it. So it's not that you're reducing opacity. So I think it's 2x2, 2x2, 2x2. So we'll do that first tomorrow before we go into auto layout. I think that's fine, right? Is that cool with everybody?
So I was asking, no, my network just had a glitch. So when I came back, I was hearing when you said some people should do it. So I was kind of asking what was that?
No, we're just talking about, I'm just giving a rundown of what's going to happen tomorrow. You understand? And so people are saying, I said is an assignment or not. So that's just it. So can we call it a day now?
No problem, sir.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
too. Thank you, sir.
Good night.
All right. Good night. Enjoy your night's rest. Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night.